in order for her to do it, you have to, you know,
I got it.
Okay.
buckle.
Okay. So the irrevocable trust, you as the trustee say, I am the trustee of my trust.
I am the trustee of my trust.
I don't know. Y'all ain't had no coffee today. I ain't messing with y'all. All right. I ain't messing with y'all. So unlike the revocable trust, an irrevocable trust generally cannot be modified. So whatever you establish as the parameters, when you, at its inception, right, it stays that way. There is no flexibility. The inflexibility is offset by several substantial advantages, particularly in the terms of asset protection and tax benefits. This is why we're going to do this, right? Somebody wants to sue you personally. They can get nothing because you have nothing. Remember, we own nothing, but we control everything. So if you're sued personally, no one can go after the assets that have been delineated for your children, right? Even if the government is trying to come after you for what they perceive that you owe them, all of this stuff is protected in the irrevocable trust. Once assets are placed into an irrevocable trust, they are typically removed from the grantor's taxable estate. Do you understand what that statement means? You can no longer be held liable for a tax liability that has been placed in a trust outside of your personal estate, potentially reducing the estate taxes and providing a more efficient tax planning. Furthermore, assets within an irrevocable trust are usually protected from the grantors or the creditors, offering a layer of financial security for both. Now, I want to say something that I heard the other day. We do not pay collection agencies at all. Y'all understand that?
Yes.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because you did not sign a contract with them. You're not in any agreement with them. Y'all understand that?
What about
Yes.
student loans?
What about what?
Student loans.
There's a way to deal with that as well. So if your student loan has been given to a bill collector that is not part of the original entity, you don't have to pay that either. Now, hear me, caveat. I'm not saying do not pay your bills. You understand? I'm not saying that, right?
Yes.
Thank you for answering, Tam. Right? But what I'm saying is, if you find yourself in a financial situation and your debt is purchased by a collection agency, they have no legal obligation to come after you. Why? Because they don't have a wet signature or an agreement or a DocuSign or on a ledger stating that you are in agreement to pay for a service or pay for equipment or pay for something that you purchased through credit and now not able to pay it. Y'all understand that? The collections agency's only business is to convince people to pay a debt that they don't owe to that entity. So they buy this debt for pennies on the dollars, and they use all kind of unscrupulous tactics to collect that money. It's a business model. Y'all understand now?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
They will say that they will sue you too.
Try.
Put a lien on your house, all type of stuff, you
Try.
know.
Where Erica at? Erica. Where's Erica? Erica. I love when they call me. Because the first thing I tell them, I need for you to provide the document that I signed that says that I have an agreement with you. And if you can't provide that, if you're attempting to put anything on my credit report, I dare you. And number two, stop calling me, stop emailing me. Don't send me any more correspondence. And they stop. Okay? You had a Macy's card when you was 25. By the time you was 28, you blew it up, and then you couldn't afford it because you had other real obligations. And so Macy's sells off your debt to one of these crooked collection agencies, and they try to collect the debt from you, and they use scare tactics. Okay, so we don't pay collection agencies. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying not to pay your bills, right? But the Bible does says to owe no man but to love him. So we should not be accumulating debt for the sake of purchasing. If you can't afford it, you don't buy it. See my guitar over there in the corner? Not this one. I bought this guitar back and forth like 3 times. I would pay $30 a week to the man that had it, just so I could, because I'm not gonna put it on a credit card. See, people don't understand is the whole American economy is based on debt. You apply for a credit card, right? You take that card and you go to Bloomingdale's and you purchase something. When is that money created?
When you start paying it.
When you purchase,
No, when you purchase. That money does not exist until you purchase. And so the system as it is designed is to keep people ignorant of the processes, and the people that have the information, they understand how to work the process. How many people can have their credit, need their credit touched up, brushed up?
me,
Who else?
Me.
Okay. There's so many things that you can do to, I hear somebody saying, teach a class about credit repair. I ain't doing that. There's so many things that we can do to eliminate the ability for the big 3 to really put things on your credit report. The first thing you have to do is block the secondary agencies that are in custody of your information and use it without your authorization. So you remove their ability to use that your information or provide it to other entities. That's the first thing you got to do. The second thing you have to do is you have to remove old addresses, because the accounts are tied to the addresses. If you remove the old addresses and you block the secondary and tertiary agencies, then no one can ever come back and say, well, yeah, we were able to verify this. And it avoids the long, arduous process of going back and forth with them by first doing these things. All right? So that was a nugget. That one was for free. And so this gives us the ability, the trust, the irrevocable trust, right? It gives us the ability, and we can tailor it for specific purposes, such as a charitable giving, special needs, planning, or life insurance trust, allowing for a meticulous management of financial goals and distribution. However, given the rigid nature of the irrevocable trust, it is essential to carefully consider the outline and the terms. So when you are going to sit with your attorney, right, to set up the parameters of how you're going to use your trust, you should sit down and ask the Lord to give you what components you want in your trust and who you're leaving what for. Because y'all know when y'all got that bag, cousin Buki, you ain't seen since you was 3, right? Be like, hey, cuz. That was a joke. I was hoping somebody would like. But anyway.
we're not thinking about the cousin Boogie that's coming out the woodworks.
All right. So when we are considering the trust, we have to choose between revocable and irrevocable based on the information that I've heard, we've read, and what we know now based on what we've talked about today. I believe the better choice is the irrevocable trust. Because like I said, if you have a new grandson, right? You have a new granddaughter, you want to add them as beneficiaries in the irrevocable trust, right? In the irrevocable trust, in what am I saying? In whichever structure that you use, it's going to depend on what you can add or what you can change. Like the revocable trust, you can totally annihilate it, destroy it, and that's it. Just do away with it. The irrevocable trust cannot be changed. Y'all understand that? The structure, the original structure cannot be changed. And so I believe by talking about this, we've already decided the best option for our families. I'm not going to ask each person individually what is the best option for your family, but we're going to have to choose. Now, I have an attorney in Atlanta. You can choose your own. That what I'm going to try to do is create favorable terms for us as a group once we start establishing what we're going to do with our resources once they accrue. Now, I want to shift a little bit to crypto. How many people are invested?
I'm sorry, can I ask a quick question before you move on?
Mhm.
Now if I set up a trust, but when I set up a trust for, let's say, my son, and I put also my niece on the trust,
Mhm.
and if somewhere down the line, and I'm speaking about the irrevocable trust,
Mhm.
my niece decides to do or be something crazy, God forbid, and I want to remove her now from that trust, I wouldn't be able to remove her if I in the irrevocable trust.
Well, let me ask you a question, right? Let's look at this from a Christian perspective. Does God do that to us?
No,
So
but I wouldn't.
but why would you do that to your niece?
The only reason I'm saying this because I've seen, okay, I'm just going to be transparent. People get involved with other people and they're on drugs, and the money is being used and they're on drugs, and their boyfriend or girlfriend, they're pushing it, and it's just a hot mess. So I wouldn't want the money that I have, that God allowed me to get, to be squandered by someone that's on drugs. And I'm just keeping it real.
Okay. I want somebody else to chime in on that. Miss Lisa, talk to me.
I'm sitting here wondering, I still want to be clear because I worked for the government.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for Social Security for a very short amount of time, but there were many wealthy people who had like a disabled child, and that disabled child continued to receive money from the government because they had put their money in a irrevocable trust.
Because
so
the government cannot determine their true wealth because it's in the trust. So they're still getting the benefits of whatever resources that the government provides as a entitlement and obligation.
Absolutely.
That's exactly why they do it.
And they had to submit the paperwork, and everything had to do with how it was set up initially. So if they had, and
No,
I'm not.
No, that's good. Go ahead. Let's explore this.
I know what you're saying is accurate. There's no question about it. But I know that we had people who could see the loopholes in it too. So you have to have good attorneys to set this up.
Exactly.
It makes all the difference in the world. So going back to my question, when you had said, okay, I have another child, I have another grandchild, or however that happens. So that would have to be in the initial, the way you set up, that when additional children are born into the family, they automatically would, okay.
The language has to be there when you set it up. This is why I say before you choose, sit with God. God, what do you want me to put in here? Right? You know the age of your children. Are they still having children? Right? And if we want to do what the Bible says, leave an inheritance for our children's children, all of that language must be in the trust. Any subsequent children, they get X, Y, and Z. Why is everybody calling me today? Right? And so this is why I'm saying you have to be specific and delineate every possible framework, because once this trust is set up, that's it. How do we know? Let me give you the example. You remember the old man in the Bible that got duped into blessing and giving the inheritance to the one son? And after he realized that he had made a mistake, was he able to go back and take it back?
Nope.
Who we talking about?
It's the
Uh,
prodigal son.
Jacob and Esau.
Yes. Once that inheritance was delivered, even though it was through deception, God had to honor it. Jacob had to honor it. So this is why we want to make sure that the language in the trust cover every possible component.
So let me just say this. So in the scenario that I gave before, I can leave a stipulation in there or wording in there that state that this person cannot be on drugs and need to be tested however often.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. But this is me, right? I'm different. The Bible says that the gifts of God are irrevocable, right? If we're using biblical parameters, right? Not that we are going to fund somebody's illicit lifestyle, but the truth is you really don't have that authority to govern what people do as adults. You don't.
You in my category. We don't get to choose how other people adult is what the way
I get that. I understand that. And it's like you give somebody something and now you're telling them what to do with it. But I do not want to be the help
You're
that
not
help
the help.
you
You're
the
not.
money to
You're
help
not.
you stay in a condition
You're not.
that's not healthy for you.
You're not. That is not your right. Even let me put it this way. God gives us instructions. We don't listen to him. We go do what we want to do. He know how it's going to end. He know how it's going to turn out, but he does not impose his will. Why? Because he's a God that gives freedom for you to kill yourself if you want to. He's going to try to talk you out of it. But if that's what you want to do, that is what he's going to allow you to do. So we don't have the right to impose on anybody what God won't impose on us.
I understand. And by then, when they have the trust, I'll be 6 feet under and in heaven. So I
So
guess it just
why you worrying about earthly things?
because you know what, Dr. Wayne, my heart is just like when I give, and I'm going to be transparent again, family member money, and I know they're doing drugs. It hurts me. It tears me up.
So don't give
You
it to
know?
them. Yeah, listen.
Okay.
You call
Okay.
Amazon. If they need food, you call Amazon. You buy groceries, you send it to their house. Right? If they
but
need,
once
you buy
once you
clothes, you send it to, listen, there's so many ways to avoid enabling people to do these things. Now, if they take that food, and I don't know how you could sell food, but, you know, people are very ingenious when it comes to desperation, right? But you got to let people be people. You got to let them live. You got to let people make their mistakes. You got to let people hit rock bottom sometimes. And sometimes we got to just stop being Holy Spirit Jr. Y'all know what I mean by Holy Spirit Jr.?
Totally understand.
yes,
Yeah.
We over parent. And when we're gone, our children don't have the ability to make decisions. They don't have the ability to make mistakes and recover from mistakes because we always swooped in and rescued them. Let's look at the 23rd Psalm. Did God swoop in and rescue David? No. The Bible says, yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death. David had to walk through whatever it was. People say, scholars says that he was being pursued by Saul. Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, thou art with me, my rod and my staff. So he was corrected and guided. In order to be guided, you must follow instructions. Let's tell the truth. All of us, we've been saved, right? Like a lot of us look at our kids and we look at the stuff that they do sometimes, or some of the stuff that we don't know they do, as if we don't know what we did when we were young. Yo, if my mother find out right now, today, at 54 years old, some of the things, I think she will beat me. Because I did some stuff. Right? And then we get saved, and then we act like, you know, our children are beyond the pale of making decisions that are not beneficial to them or shameful to us. They will, right? But we cannot overparent, because when we're dead and gone, how are they going to survive? How are they going to make decisions? How are they going to make sound decisions if we have never allowed them to make mistakes? Why are we on this topic? Because of Stephanie, right? Stephanie buying us all oxtail dinners today.
I was gonna ask if we could go to crypto now.
Who said that?
But
You
I
know.
thank you for taking the time to explain. Thank you.
No problem. This is why we talk. This is why we have community and conversations.
That's
So,
true.
the exit strategy. So say, for instance, which it will, I know it's going to happen. Where Carolyn Thomas at? Carolyn,
I'm here, Dr. Wayne.
I was talking to a man that was in Kuwait last night. I was so excited. I called Chris because that was one of my new mentees, and he was like, my first question when I knew he's a government contractor that is in Kuwait right now. I said, yo, you know anything about the dinar? And he was like, yo, I just bought some yesterday. It's like, say word, right? I said, what is the tenor and what are people saying in that part of the world? That the IDQ, RV, so that's the Iraqi dinar, reevaluation is imminent, right? So say,
Yes.
for instance, you had the ability and overnight you are worth 10, 20, 30, $40 million. And I know a couple of people that would be billionaires. What is your exit strategy? What do we do? Say, for instance, XRP, XLM, XDC decide they appreciate to significant amounts and you want to pull some profits, and those profits equate to high hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. What are you going to do? That's a viable question, right?
Yes.
The minute that occurs and you liquidate your holdings or you do the Treasury swap, you have to make sure that your trust is in place, because right there, that is considered a gain, a capital gain. So if you have Bitcoin or whatever you're invested in and you want to liquidate and pull profits out to avoid the capital gains, you have to make sure that your trust is established. And I know sometimes when we are accumulating our bags, and all of us don't have $25,000 or $3,000 to go to a trust attorney to do that right now. So remember that a gain is only realized, because it's called realized capital gains, once you've done the transaction. So what do? Say, for instance, God forbid, we don't have our trust set up yet, and we liquidate some of our XRP, right? We will move that into another vehicle, and we won't remove it until the trust is set up. So the goal is, when we start seeing things are happening, that make sure that the trust is set up. So when we realize the gain, there won't be a tax liability, because we've realized the gain as an individual person. So keep in mind, if the gain is only realized once you pull it out, then we would have to move it into another vehicle so that the gain is not realized. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Any questions about the trust? We're gonna be finished early. We're gonna be finished early today. Any questions about the trust? And then I want to pivot to questions about crypto. Any trust questions first?
So I had a quick question about the Iraqi dinar. Can I go to, I heard that it's possible to go to like an airport to purchase it.
You don't want to do that.
Don't do it that way. Okay. Okay.
Erica, where did I put that envelope I got yesterday?
Where do I purchase the Iraqi dinar?
I'm about to tell you. Erica.
It's downstairs.
All right, I can't go downstairs to get it. There's two places that I get currencies from. I get it from a company. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let me stop the share. Let me pull it up. We use Treasury,
Treasury Vault.
Treasury Vault,
Treasury Vault.
and Banknote. Banknote World. How does it go?
And they allow you to make the purchase with the USD.
Yes. Let me tell you what I like about banknote world is there is no ID verification. They don't verify. They don't make you verify your identification first before they send you. And April, I just learned this the other day. They ship to Texas. They ship everywhere. They're in California, right? So we don't have to jump through hoops and do the okie doke, send it to me so I can send it to you. So banknote world, I learned of this from what's her name? Sharon Johnson, Dr. Sharon Johnson. And so let me tell you why the Treasury thing is a good idea. When the United States government or the war machine goes to war with a country, the first thing they do is wreck their currency. You understand what I mean by that?
Yes.
They reduce the value of the currency so they cannot engage let's put the cookie on the bottom shelf. They can't even buy bullets because we've sanctioned and wrecked their economy through SWIFT. Because SWIFT is the mechanism that establishes sanctions on nations or individuals, high-powered individuals in these nations, right? So what the United States government have done, let's look at the wars that we've been involved in over the last 50 years. The Vietnam War, right? The Vietnam currency is called the dong. So for those of us who have eyes open, our eyes are open now, right? We understand the policies. What these senators, these generals will do, I wish Melvin was here. They would buy these currencies by the pallet, waiting for the reevaluation. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure y'all get it.
Very much do. I get it. I get
Okay.
it.
So in the Vietnam War, what did we do? We wrecked their currency. And after about 20 years, it hasn't happened for Vietnam in 20 years, but after about 20 years, in order for us to recoup some of the cost of what we've poured, because what we will do, we would bomb these countries into oblivion and then spend billions, if not trillions of dollars rebuilding them. In an effort to recoup some of the costs, we will allow the currency to reevaluate, including inflation, to where it should have been. Now, the Kuwaiti dinar, when it was devalued during the first Gulf storm, it was devalued to, before the devaluation, it was about $3.80 per $1, right? These are countries that are rich in oil, natural gas, natural resources, right? So we wrecked their economy, we wrecked their currency, and then when he reevaluates, while we're wrecking their currency, we're buying pallets and large amounts of their currency. So when he reevaluates, we just go and cash in. So with the Iraqi dinar, the same principle. The initial Gulf War was in 1991, if I'm not mistaken. Some of y'all wasn't even born yet. Who wasn't born in 1991?
Yeah, it was around that time. I was in Germany.
Okay, 1991. And so these countries that use the U.S. petrodollar, because you know the United States oil and natural gas is traded in U.S. dollars, right? So when we want to recoup some of the cost of destroying these companies for whatever reason or regime change, we then depress the currency, right? And then we allow it to revalue. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to tell you some of the dreams that people that I know personally are having. I'm going to tell you what Erica saw when we were praying about this thing. I think that the Iraqi dinar is going to this is just me. I'm not a scholar in this thing. But based on what all of the research that I've done, and Carolyn Thomas and others, April, Sharon Johnson, I want y'all to chime in on this. about $3.80. Right? Right now, you can purchase 1 million. So you can purchase 50,000 Iraqi dinar for $69.49. Right? So if this 50,000 was to reevaluate at $3.80, do the math. That's about $162,000. Right? I know people that have millions, 6, 7, 8 millions of Iraqi dinar waiting for the reevaluation. Right? So, Ms. Carolyn Thomas, in your research, what have you found?
Yes, Apostle Wayne. I found that for the Venezuela,
Bolivar?
yes, sir. The 1 million, they also have 100 million, 500 million. They're saying it's going to reevaluate as well. And so those just cost a little bit more, but that's what's going to launch people into the billions if they purchase those.
Do you understand? Y'all understand?
Yeah, I have a quick question. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
Mama. Question about the.
Cory Strong and had his hand raised for a while. Does he still
Okay, let
have
me
a
get that.
question?
All right, so let me get to Cory first. Cory, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, thanks, Dr. Wayne.
Thank
So,
you for not letting me hang out here by myself. It's just me, you, and Dwayne. So these all the rich women that gonna be here. We gonna be a couple of rich guys, but just
right.
yeah.
So to get back to that question about liquidating and pulling profits out with a gain, here's my situation. I have a ledger and a Treasury, and then I've got my Gemini account where I buy and sell crypto. If I do wanna, but it's in my name, it's in my personal name. Now I have a trust already, another trust. But if I wanted to sell and put the proceeds into the trust, can I do that? Or do
Absolutely.
I have to change, or do I have to just change my Gemini account name to the name of my trust?
I don't believe you can. It wouldn't hurt, right? But once money's, how do I say this, Jesus? Make sure I say this right. I don't want to give you wrong information. Let me think about this for a second. So we are transferring ownership of our personal assets into the trust. When we liquidate an asset and there's a gain, right?
Right.
We want the gain to be established in the trust and then pull out what we need. So do we need, right, do we need to change the name on our accounts to reflect our trust or our LLC or whatever mechanism or a structure that we're going to use in order not to have a tax liability on the realized gain?
That's the question.
That's a real good question. That's a real good question. Let me think about this for a second.
You could get back to me another time if you don't know offhand.
We need to get back to everybody on that because
Okay.
we want to make sure that we do this correctly. But yeah, we got to talk, man. Share some of your trading strategies with me, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll give you some of mine. Right? And we all could be wealthy together. And we could come by at the lake house. Nobody want to live in the lake house? It's just me? Okay, all right, cool. Me and Cory. Cory, I'm going to build my house right next to yours, bro. All right. So, Miss Carol Thomas, I saw a video yesterday and you opened the door. Take a quick break. Erica, there's somebody at the door? Can you?
Yeah, it's not working. I can't get in.
All right. Y'all give me a second, okay? Okay. Miss Carolyn, tell us about the Bolivar again. So where's the Bolivar on this?
Yes, sir.
So you're saying that there's a reevaluation coming to that as well?
Yes, the 1 million, the 100 million, and the 500. With the 500, the note is, one of the notes color is purple. It's a 2020. You have to get the right year. So the 1 million is 2020 year. If you look real closely, you'll see a year under the amount there. And it says 2020.
Mm-hmm.
For the 100 million, it must be 2021.
Now, why is there coming a reevaluation? I know the answer, but I want you to say. Because they go into a digital currency as well.
Oh, that's right. Yes, sir.
Okay, and so they have to remove liquidity from the market by taking these bills off the market. But we're not just going to give us their bills. They got to pay us for our bills. Right? Now, regarding the Iraqi dinar, once the RV happens, you're able to, Sharon Johnson, this is your arena. You could talk about this. Speak up. You're muffled.
Oh, you can't hear me? I'm sorry. You said once the RV happens.
What do we do?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, once the RV happens, you do have to go in to exchange it in one of the five top tier banks, which is your Chase, your JP Morgan.
JP Morgan Chase, and what else?
Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank.
Those are the big five.
The big five.
Yeah.
They have wealth managers, so having a relationship with them is helpful, and you can actually start that relationship now. But I wouldn't tell them about the dinar yet, because some of them believe and some of them don't believe. A lot of people do. But having a relationship with a wealth manager and putting it and having them help to diversify your money, not just sitting in an account, because you want to make sure that it's an asset, gold and silver, buying more SRP, things like that. Definitely just don't want it just sitting in the bank. It can disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you need to do, make sure you get the top dollar for it. And yes, 380 is around what we've been hearing, but in some cases they're saying maybe it would get more.
So why you on your headset?
Yeah, I am. Is it bad? I'm sorry.
Horrible.
Is this better?
A lot better. So you were about to say that you've been hearing.
I've been hearing around 380. Yes, that was what it was before it got devalued. But they're saying in some cases you may be able to get more. So you definitely
As much
have
as
to try.
Yeah, a special rate
even like
up to $12.
$12.
Okay. Now, do you see how significant this will change a person's life for minimal cost? And from the coffee to coin thing, the whole idea was to look at your discretionary spending and see where you can pull or reallocate funds for the sake of building some kind of investment back. We know not all of us don't have 10, 20, 30, 40,000, $50,000 to go make a move, but we over time, right? Over time, we can accumulate enough funds that can change our lives so we can be a blessing, right? And this is the thing. We know our family members are not paying attention, right? How many of y'all know that? You know they think we crazy, right?
Me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
They think we crazy, right? So let me tell you what I started doing. Me and Erica went out to dinner one day, and we sat down. We wrote out a list of people that we are going to create trusts for. Because we know they're not listening. We know they're not paying attention. And because we love our family, we're trying to make sure that they don't completely miss the opportunity to have generational wealth, right? Now, once I put your money in your trust, right? You know what's going to happen? Doo-doo-doo. The number that you have called is no longer in service. You can't call me and ask me for no more money. Jamila, you know I'm serious, right?
You doing irrevocables for them too?
I'm setting the whole thing up. This is what y'all getting. I'm done. Me and Erica sipping mocktails on the beach in some island. I don't know where. I don't know for how long. Right? But we know we know that they're not paying attention, and because we love our family and we are good stewards, a good steward leaves inheritances, right? So we're gonna try to position them to benefit from what God is blessing us to accrue. Y'all understand? Do we have any questions? Any other questions?
I really wanted to say I like what you're saying, because even though, and the young lady that was speaking earlier, even though we may have some family members that aren't doing the right thing, when you don't give them complete and full access to it, because you could set up time. So they might need it for this, or they might need it the first of every month for their rent. You could start doing some things so that they don't just have access to a bankroll because they wouldn't know how to handle it.
Let me give y'all an example. You remember George Floyd's family? They got $50 million, right? They back on public assistance.
No.
No way.
No way.
Didn't he just pass?
$50 million?
Oh no.
That is heartbreaking, right? And this is why we have to know. And let me tell you how we know that God is a good father. When I was California dreaming, talking about I'm gonna buy a house in the hills of San Diego, a $2 million house, and I'm gonna live up there and I'm gonna live my life and I'm gonna do this, God would not allow me to have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to even approach or broach what we're talking about today. When I was trying to find the Treasury direct accounts years ago, I couldn't find access. I couldn't find nothing about it. The minute that I made God my focus and not money, he started to reveal all these things to me. Why? Because God knows that some of us, if we get some dollars, right, we gonna make videos, big pin, spending G's. Y'all gonna try to buy out Louis Vuitton and Gucci, right? Right? Y'all gonna do some stuff that just don't make no sense because people do it all the time. But we're not doing it for that. We're doing it to insulate us, our family members, from what's coming. And number two, to be a blessing to those who are not in a position that we are in. That's why we're doing this. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't go buy your forever house. I'm not saying you can't go get that G-Wagon, Carolyn Thomas and Erica Richards. I'm not saying none of that. You can do those things as long as the things don't have you. Right? Let's tell the truth. We ain't even got nothing and the things have us. As long as the things don't have us, we will be all right. Once we understand the source of the wisdom to be able to handle, right? Listen, go get a financial planner. I may not need one, but you may need one, right? So that we don't trick off this money and then we be having fish fries and GoFundMes, right? So your mind has to change on the way that you do things, or you're going to trick off this money. Y'all understand? I know none of y'all ain't going to do that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Amen.
Okay. Any other questions? April, you want to jump in here?
Yeah, so one of the things that I've always wanted to do, and you all have said it already, is to put parameters you know, for the people that I want to leave monies to, because I'm a person that doesn't have children. I'm not married. I don't have children. So, you know, I'm in a peculiar situation or spot, if you will. So I'm like, but I think about, you know, who I still want to leave money to, right? You know, outside of my parents. So, you know, my parents will be number one, but I mean, if they happen to leave and then I leave, you know, then again, where does my money has to go somewhere? So I do have, you know, cousins and things like that I can leave my money to. So I've thought about that. But there will be parameters, right? I mean, you're not going to get all the money up front. Depending on how old they are, it's going to be allocated from age to age to age, 18, 25, 30, whatever, right? I'm sorry, but you are going to have a certain credit score in order to have your allocation, because you will be a productive adult in society. You will have a job. You will have your own place that has your name on it, not somebody else's. I mean, these are things that I want to set up and I want to put in place because I don't want, somebody just, assuming, oh, well, she left me all this money. Now I can just do whatever. No, you will still be a productive adult in society. You're not just going to be a trust fund baby.
That's good.
I love it.
You see what I'm talking about? People saying they ain't received.
And you can also leave to organizations or, your favorite charities, all those things. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about it. But one of the things the Lord has been speaking to me about is just putting some things in place, depending on where you're living at. There's going to still be some hard times coming for other people. So that might be a part of your ministry that you need to do. You might include your ministry in it. There's much that we can do.
Listen, and that's the goal. We want to bring heaven here on earth. And let me go back, because this is the thing. How many of y'all been hearing since you was 2 years old in church? Every time I try to say this, I always say this in my mother's voice. The wealth of the wicked is saved for the righteous. How many times y'all been hearing that? But no one has ever told us how it would occur. This is it. In my opinion, in my own personal revelation, this is it. Somebody can confirm, disagree. We're in conversation. Anybody else? April, what do you think? Sharon Johnson. What Cory at? Cory's still here. Cory's still here. What do y'all think about the ability to create generational wealth with nominal money and the time frame in our lifetime that this is occurring? Anybody else that want to chime in on that?
Well, I mean, I think that, we should do research, number one, research, just make sure that, you are researching these things and make sure that you are praying about it, number one. Number two, but no, this is the time. I mean, I remember when they said Bitcoin wasn't going to be, anything, and now it had reached at 100,000, right? And now I think it's back down, but still, it's still my goodness, $80,000 times what it was when they said that it would not be anything. I mean, and we're looking at XRP that was at pennies and now it's a couple dollars. I mean, so like this is the ground floor. I keep saying it. Like this is the ground floor. Get in while you can and just sit and wait. Don't worry about the market going up or down. It goes down every year around this time.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the time where it corrects itself. That's what they call it in the investment world. It does a correction. So it corrects itself. There's a cycle that it goes through every couple of years. And this is the time when it's doing it. It is going to shoot back up, but that's not what we do it for. We do it for the long term. So you have to be in it for the long term. You cannot have FOMO, fear of missing out, because if you do, then you're going to buy off emotions, you're going to sell off emotions, and then you're going to lose out in the end.
Woo! Cory, let me hear what you got to say, brother. That was nice, April. That was nice.
Yeah, I agree. I started to invest in crypto maybe like in 2020.
Same thing.
And there were times, between then and now, where I did have to liquidate some of the funds because I just needed the money.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in it for the long haul. My son, who is 36, he had a whole bunch of Bitcoin, and about a month or so ago, he started to get into a situation with his job where he also needed some money because he just bought a big house in Las Vegas. And so he did have to liquidate. But, if possible, and everybody's going to have different circumstances, if at all possible, you should just try to hang on to your investment because like April said, I think it's going to continue to go up substantially over the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm. I say, okay, you have to have a long strategy, an intermediate strategy, and if you're savvy, this is for seasoned investors, being able to set limit orders and trade in between. I don't have the time to do it, Cory, right? But back in 2020, I used to do that all day. A 7% swing, a 10% swing, up and down. And all I was doing was not pulling any profits out, but accumulating more of the coin or whatever investment it was. So I would compound my, see how y'all got my Shiba Inu shirt. Y'all see my Shiba? Right? I'm still in the army. Right, so I'm still part of the Shiba army. I would go in between the swings. Chris, he's not here. Chris and I, and we would just, I would wake him up sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning, be like, yo, Shiba's on the run. Yo, Saitama's on the run. And we would make moves based on the swings. But the lessons that I learned back then, I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars riding and not pulling profits when I was supposed to. So you need an intermediate strategy and a long strategy, and you need to know how to work in between the two. But April said something very key. Do not trade emotionally. No, the fear of missing out. And let me tell you what most people do. You notice how, and if you really think about it, XRP, right? And what's happening in the crypto world, it's only like 1% of Americans that really understand the benefits of these things. A lot of this is not as huge as we think it is. It's huge for us who have the knowledge, but majority of the country or the world, I think it's Cory, what are the numbers? Like 6% worldwide and 1% in America trades in crypto?
I don't know.
Okay, so with the strategic crypto reserve, and with the what Trump is doing with the whole crypto thing, you ain't got to like him. I don't care if you do. I don't care if you love him. But you need to be able to understand the benefits of when policies can change the trajectory of your life. Why is that important? So all of derivatives in the stock market around the world, I think it's something like 57 trillion, right? Market cap of the crypto world is only, for Bitcoin, I think is 1.3, and the max may be $3 trillion. Keep in mind, banks and investment companies were not allowed to custody crypto. Y'all know what it means when I say custody crypto. They could not be held for their customers, right? They were not allowed to involve themselves in the business of cryptocurrency. There are 17 ETFs slated for just XRP. Do you know what that means? Do I have to go into details?
Does that mean that it's going to go high?
Yes, because an ETF is an exchange traded fund. What does that mean? Your 401k, your regular investment accounts through Charles Schwab and all these other companies will be able to custody and sell you crypto in a fund. So in order for them to sell you crypto in a fund, guess what they must have? They have to purchase the crypto that they're going to include in the fund. And so they're going to be 17 ETFs just for XRP. That means billions, if not trillions of dollars inflowing to just XRP. Now, keep in mind, when God gave me that coin to coffee strategy, he gave me the coins or the category of coins that would suffice. I'm going to break it down. I know this is not a crypto class, but I'm going to break it down. What time is it? Let's go for like the next 35 minutes. This thing is being recorded, so you'll be able to go back and listen to the whole thing. So there is banking communication or a technological standard that has been created, and it's called ISO 222. That is the language that the banks use to move money around all over the world. The ISO 222 coins, there are 12 blockchain coins or technology that utilizes the standard to move money in milliseconds. So let me give you an example. The truth is, Bitcoin doesn't really have a use case, right? It uses tremendous energy to produce. The good thing about Bitcoin, there's a finite amount that will be minted. And those people that got in early because Bitcoin hit the market at 8 cents. Do the math in your head. Make you want to lay down in the middle of the street somewhere and let a truck run over you for not paying attention back then. But what I love about God is, in my opinion, and Cory, I think me, you, and maybe Sharon in April have a little bit more experience when it comes to longevity in this space. I believe, and I'm not an expert. I just know a little bit more than you guys, right? I know a lot, but I'm not an expert because I got to be casting out demons all day long. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, this is akin to when Bitcoin first hit. The difference between these ISO 222 coins and Bitcoin is they solve a problem. Let's go back to what SWIFT is. Remember in the trust conversation, I talked about how when the United States government wants to sanction or punish nation states or individuals, they use SWIFT. You can't do any transactions. You can't move any money around because the money transactions are usually, it happens on SWIFT. SWIFT is an antiquated system that was first established in the 50s and updated in the 70s. And it's time consuming and it's expensive. So say I'm in Japan and I want to move 1 billion, 100 billion Japanese yen to America. I need double the amount of money because the money has to be in Japan and in America and then converted. Expensive. So these corporations are spending billions of dollars on cross-border transactions. Which smart business person in their right mind see a new technology which reduces the cost by 10 billion% and not jump on it? It's like the internet. Y'all remember the internet? In 1996, there was, no, let's talk about the Graham-Steagall Act that gave commercial banks the ability to involve themselves in the investment banking. This is where the JP Morgans, the Wells Fargo, and all these banks blew up because now they had a whole different revenue source that wasn't available to them. Okay, y'all remember the internet? Y'all remember America Online? You put your little disc in and yeah, y'all remember that? Jamila, you old enough to remember that?
I remember that.
I used to go to people's mailbox and steal a little disc when my little disc ran out so I could get right? Look at the internet now. Look at the speed in which we get information. Look at the revenue source that all of these, remember Bell Electronics, Mobile, Verizon done changed their names 9 times, but they had the ability to not only offer internet service, now they were also involved in producing a whole wireless spectrum that we can have. Y'all remember the Oki 900 cell phone? And me and Cory probably the only one people remember this. Big brick cell phones. Y'all remember that?
Yes, we thought it was so cool.
Yeah, you know. You go to the club and you styling and profiling with your Oki 900. And now we got things like this that have more processing power than some of the spacecraft that went to the moon, right? So technology does a multiplicity of things. And in regarding crypto, these ISO 222 coins allow cross-border payments, not only immediately, but at minimal cost. Now, I did the math in my head, and this is how I know they're suppressing the market. In order for XRP to do what we know it can do, it cannot be $2.40. What's the point I'm trying to make? There's an infinite amount of XRP. And we also know in order to move large amounts of money like these banks are going to be moving, keep in mind, SWIFT moves $7 trillion daily. If XRP was to be integrated, XRP, XLM, XDC, and all the ISO 200 coins, depending on what banks want to use, are integrated into the system. If they were to get a percentage of the $7 trillion, what does that say for the value of the coin? Through the roof. Right? Is it going to happen overnight? No, but we're going to start to see incremental increase in the value because of adoption. Cory, you can jump in here at any time if you want to.
Yeah, I totally agree. You mentioned just a little bit of a topic change. You mentioned Shiba Inu, and just for everybody out there, if they want to get into something that's pretty cheap, I remember a couple of years ago, Mac. Do you guys know who Mac Praise is?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of? He had a dream that Shiba Inu would just explode, and so I bought a couple of years ago when he said that, and I think there were a couple of other prophets that also mentioned that. Now it hasn't really. Right now it's down, and it hasn't really exploded like it should. But if you have, it's valued at like a fraction of a penny, even if it goes up to 1 penny. The amount of Shiba Inu that you can buy if you're on a tight budget is such that you can get 1 million Shiba Inu for a very, maybe under $1,000. And then if it does even go up to a penny, let alone maybe a nickel or a dime, that could definitely create wealth. So, if you're gonna, if you don't have a lot of money to invest in, well, even XRP is pretty cheap too. So I would personally, I would keep using your coin to coffee method, which I read your book. I would certainly use that to be buying up a lot of XRP would be my first choice, which I have done, and then maybe get some Shiba Inu because it's just so, it's so expensive to get in Bitcoin at this point. So if you can't do that, if you guys are on a tight budget, which we are too, that would be something that I would consider doing.
That's good. Anybody else with April, talk about what you're doing.
All right. So what I'm doing is, I'm just keeping it light. So I'm buying, I'm focused on XRP. I'm focused on XLM because XLM is similar to XRP, but in the sense of it's not for banking transactions, it's for person-to-person transactions. And so right now, I believe that's at like 74 cents. So like, that's if you are trying to get into something that is, again, for the long haul, this is not, trying to get rich quick and all this stuff. This is, you're going to have to hold this stuff. If you have $100, you might want to, look into XLM. Also, I'm looking into a coin called HBAR. And I do have some HBAR. HBAR is like, I think it's like 20 cents right now. And so just different things like that. Again, research, listen, YouTube has a lot of information, like seriously, when it comes to crypto. And, of course, you can't listen to everybody. And this is why you have to pray and you have to discern, right? But like get into the crypto news, crypto has its own like news circulation, they have their own news outlets and stuff. So, read about what these coins do. Like Dr. Wayne says, the best coins to invest in, and this is what I'm doing, the best coins to invest in are those that have utility or those that are actually
explain that.
They solve a problem. Right? They're not just a coin, just that, because I just have a coin. I have crypto. No, find coins that do something, that solve a problem. So we know that XRP solves a problem. It solves the transaction problem, right? So instead of transactions taking, days or months, now it takes seconds, right? For those banks to do their transactions, their wiring, I should say. And you know what? Listen, this is gonna bleed into everything, okay? When we buy cars, how fast it takes us to close on a house, real estate, like all of this stuff is coming. It's not here exactly yet, but like it's coming. Japan, we know everybody on this call know Japan is a country. We all know Japan. They have adopted XRP. Okay, Dubai is now starting to adopt XRP, meaning they're not just the companies, y'all, not just the corporations, but like they're trying to integrate it in their society. So this is how important this is, and we already know that the U.S. is late on everything. Okay, we bring up the rear, but we have to. I'm telling the truth, Dr. Wayne. But like we bring up the rear because we're watching what everybody else is doing because we want to make sure that it works, right? Or that, if it fails, okay, what do we need to do differently? But Japan, we know that they are the lead when it comes to technology
Technology.
and all of it, right? And so if they are adopting these, and then of course, like I said, Dubai, who's also very technological, right? Looking at these particular countries, they're not just going to adopt something that and then hinge their entire financial system on a whim. They're not going to do that. So again, research, YouTube, look at the news, and when I say look at the news, look at crypto news, see what's going on, find out, and then make your investment choices off of that. That's what I do.
Amen. Let me just share something with you. Let's add a political component. Do you know why certain parties are up in arms with the exposure of greed, theft, mismanagement, and all those things? Because if the government systems and the Treasury were on the blockchain, they can't steal. This is why they're going after Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Because all of these government transactions would be on a ledger that anybody can search and look into. Not the personal information, but how the money is moving. And this is why if they integrate the Fed, do y'all understand this computer's just sending money to companies that the contract has expired for years and they're still getting a check because no one has ever checked to turn off the money? Do y'all know this? Do y'all know there's 20 million people who are dead that are getting Social Security checks? Who's getting that money? Nobody ain't talking back to me. What happened? You turn down the volume? What's going on?
Somebody's getting the money.
Trey been talking.
All right. So if you establish a blockchain technology that has an open ledger that you can see, like right now, right? You can take your wallet information and go to Etherscan and you can see all of your transactions and trades that you've ever done since the inception of your personal wallet. I go check sometimes. They don't want that account of accountability and transparency, right? This, for those of us who understand, and I always look at this as us being the sons of Issachar. What does the Bible say about the sons of Issachar? They understood the seasons, right? This class should have 300-400 people in it, but not everybody understands the seasons. For those of us who get it and understand everything that April said, do, and greater than that, pray, because God will reveal. Where's Erica? Erica, you still here? Get on the microphone.
Okay, me and Stormy for sure.
Stormy ain't got no wallet. All right. Anyway.
Oh my God.
We were praying the other morning, and I was asking God, reveal to me when the IDQ is going to happen. Erica is the kind of prophet that sees. And she said, I saw the scroll come down, and I don't understand the writing on it, but I see a date, 3/25. April, am I able to play that dream, the audio clip of the dream that I
Yes.
sent you?
Yeah,
How
you're
would I,
able to.
how would I do that?
So you would, when you do your share, you're gonna go through advanced,
Okay.
and then it's gonna give you an audio option. I think it's all the way to, well, I don't think, I know, it's all the way to the right where it gives you the audio option.
One participant shared a time advance host. I don't know what I'm looking at. All right, let me
Wait, so when you did share, it should be a whole nother box that comes up, not a box where you click on, not a box that looks like with radio with little circles next to it where you click, click,
Okay,
click.
let me ask you a question. If I give you the ability to share, can you play it?
Yeah, I'll be able to. Give me
All right,
just a
so I'll do
second.
that. Multiple participants can share simultaneously.
All right, give me a second. I'm gonna, let's see here. All right, so you gave me the ability to share.
Share sound. Okay.
Yeah, you share sound. You see it now?
Yeah, but let me see. Let me see. So I sent it to you.
Mm.
There, just it. Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Wayne.
Can y'all hear this?
Dr. Wayne, I found a dream.
Can y'all
I
hear this?
had that dream
Yes.
in August 3rd, 2024. August 3rd, 2024. In that dream, I heard the Lord because I was praying first about the investment. And I had the dream on August 3rd, 2024, where I heard the voice of the Lord was telling me not to worry nor pay attention to what the government of the United States will say about the Iraqi money. They say they will say something and they will act differently. They will tell people if they invest, they're gonna lose their money, but themselves secretly they will invest. So it's the Lord was telling me in that dream not to worry about what they're gonna say, what the news will say, what the government will pay people to say about the money. And in the second dream, I saw one bill is the wet bill from the Iraqi money that was equal a bunch of US dollars. So that was the second dream, but the first dream was only a voice, and that was the second dream. So that was the dream, Dr. Wynn. And sorry for the noise. It's my wife snoring. Okay, Dr. Wayne.
This is not a person that follows like how maybe Sharon Johnson or Erica and I or April or others follow. This is a man that I would just tell, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you want to do this. So this is not a person that is intricately following everything that's going on like we do. And this is what God showed him. Now, he ain't the only person. This is just somebody that I know personally, plus Erica's vision that she had, and plus just the climate that we're in as far as people being able to find themselves, right? Find themselves in situations where we have the ability to create generational wealth. Because God is doing something different. We're no longer gatekept from information and strategies and things like that. And even greater than that, we have the spirit of the living God that can give us instructions, guidance, and wisdom. Right? Anybody else?
I just want to make sure, because I've never tried to buy anyone another currency. So you would purchase the currency. I looked on the website. They're going to send you the currency. And then when that currency, when you're ready to turn it in, those were the 5 banks somebody was telling us about.
Yeah. So the big 5 gives us the ability to go. We set up relationships with them. And we, you can also have, there's such a thing as a multiple currency bank account. Right? And of course, these things are not readily known to most people, but we will set up a relationship with the bank. We will put our, our currency and have them do a swap for our American currency. And here's the thing. Once you do the American currency, I believe that you should move it into gold or silver. Cory, any advice on that? Gold or silver or even some crypto. Like if the IDQ was to hit tomorrow, I'm buying $1 million of XRP. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I made some mistakes in the past with regard to precious metals, so I would not take advice from me. Just saying.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions? Comments?
I agree with you. You hear me now?
Listen, get a Starlink phone, okay? I don't know, Verizon ain't working out for you.
I'm on my computer, but it's just the back audio.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you as far as, don't keep it in the banks because they're predicting that the banks may crash. So you definitely wanted to get assets, gold and silver. You know, the Bible says gold and silver is mine. So, and XRP and XLM. XRP is backed by gold and XLM is backed by silver.
By silver.
Those are the ones why one of the reasons why those are going to survive. They're going to thrive. You definitely want to have plenty of those. And the XRP is for corporations, and like April said, the XLM is for the day-to-day transactions. Definitely want to have a good amount of them. But agreeing with Cory, having those smaller coins like the Shiba Inu and like maybe Solana or something like that, is being able to, once those hit, trade those into XRP and XLM.
Yes. Yes. Any other questions? So let me ask you, how many of y'all have accounts? Crypto accounts?
I do.
No, you got to get HBAR on Coinbase. So this is why I always recommend having a couple of accounts. And there's some other coins that you can't purchase on either of those. So I have MetaMask, I have Trust Wallet, I have Atomic Wallets. This is for more intermediate trainers and people. Y'all understand that? So how many people have not set up accounts yet?
I haven't.
Who said that?
Stephanie.
Steph, where you at? I can't see. Okay, you're at the bottom. Yeah, this is our first time. Either that or you can either set up the one-on-one or we have a ebook called The Blueprint. It's $4.99 that walks you through the entire process. Okay. We also have another document called Own Nothing, Control Everything. And this has all of everything that I talked about today. Its features, the reasons why you should do that. I'm gonna throw this up. This is gonna be like $5. Okay. And there's one more thing I want to show y'all. We still sharing the screen? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we can see.
So we have a coin coming out. All right. We're working on all of the back causes and everything that we need to do. But the goal of this coin is support ministries and charitable causes and create financial opportunities for the future, right? And so
you said you have a coin coming out. You've created your own coin?
Did I stutter?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Lisa wasn't in the other classes. Yeah, so we have a coin coming out, and the goal is to fund, create financial opportunities for the future, support ministries and charitable causes, and I'm excited. Now, y'all are the only ones that know this, okay?
That is crazy.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That is awesome.
This is why I be looking like a raccoon, like I don't get no sleep. Because I be in the lab. Erica be looking at me like, Lane, you know Stormy's going to be up in 2 hours, right? So she be telling me, I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm not walking him. But listen, I thank God. Let me tell you why. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I would be in these types of situations, predicaments, and everything else. But it allows me to be the launch pad for what God is calling for all of us to do. The goal is that money will never be an option or a impediment to doing ministry. I'm tired of asking people, yo, send me some money for some hard drives. Send me money for this. Or, yo, we need a camera. I'm tired. I don't want to do that no more. And I know y'all tired too. Okay? But we are going to give folks who are interested the opportunity to invest in this as well.
Count me in.
All right. I'll let you know.
Can we ask about Al-Marie had a good question about Bitcoin?
What about Bitcoin?
Being a no-no?
Who said that?
I guess it was kind of like a question.
No, it's not that it's a no-no. It's that we've missed the atmospheric ascent when we could have created great wealth from it. Bitcoin, I think, hit the market at 8 cents back in, Erica, what year was it? 08, 09? Right? 8 cents.
Wow.
So you was trading at 2018. What was Bitcoin in 2018? $10,000? Okay. And now Bitcoin all-time high was $1,000 per Bitcoin. Say
100,000.
100,000. Let me do some math for y'all real quick. That gonna make y'all upset. Right? I'm about to make y'all gonna be mad right now. So say we took $1,000. Right? I'm gonna do the math.
Y'all anybody else, but I was saying menna.
So we're gonna divide $1,000 by 8 cents. Divide 1,000 by 0.08. 08. That would have gave us 12,500 Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin today? Anybody tell me? I don't know. I didn't look this morning. Somebody look it up real quick.
I feel like it's just $84,230.
Times $84,220. I gotta hold the calculator freaking sideways. 1 billion. $1,052,750,000. Okay. Now, I've been declaring daily. I'm doing the declarations for all of us, right? That when XRP meets its first immediate stratospheric ascent, that it would be 58,928. So say you had 1,000 XRP and it went to $58,928. That would be $58,928,000 928,000. Right? So I know you're saying, well, Wayne, in order for me to have 1,000 XRP, I need $2,400. Let me see if I could pull up one of my emails that shows you what I do with XRP daily. Let's go to, is Robinhood? Yeah, Robinhood. So do we understand what dollar cost averaging is? Anybody that don't understand what it is?
Please explain.
Dollar cost averaging mean at a consistent basis, at a consistent time, you invest in whatever so okay, I can share this with y'all. So I'm serious when I talked about the from coffee to coin. So this is what I did. I went into my Robinhood account, and every day I buy $5 of XRP, $5 of SHIB, $5 of XLM, $3 of ARB. You will never miss this. You won't miss this. And in my other Coinbase accounts, I got two other, I purchase HBAR and I purchase something else every day, right? And so we look at the barriers of entry as, oh, I need $10,000, I need $1,000, I need $5,000. If you have it, great. But if you don't not get involved because you look at your resources and say, I don't have enough to do it. You do. So the coffee to coin strategy is simple. It can be translated to any discretionary spending. I'm about to get in trouble right now. How much it costs to get your hair done? Yeah, well, our haircut is $40. I don't even want to pay that. I went and got my own clippers to cut my own hair. I'm using more than the $40. Erica upset because I'm asking the woman about her hair, right? So I'm gonna tell y'all, she just spent, how much you just spent today? You just spent 100 and what to do your hair? 125, right? How long that gonna last? A month, right? So let's do the math. 125, right? Why you laugh? Times 12. 125 times 12 is $1,500. When I did the coffee thing, when I did the math for the coffee, it was like $3,700 of, and we got a coffee machine downstairs, and I'm still getting in the car and driving over there. Yeah, because I like talking to people, but it, you know, right? And I looked, I'm like, yo, that's $3,700 on coffee. All I do is pee it out, right? I'm being 100. I'm being real. What if I didn't drink coffee 7 days a week? And I did it twice a week. And I took that money and I dollar cost average into these securities, into these coins. So now the barrier, the perceived barrier is not really there. All I'm doing is allocating resources to something that's beneficial. How many of y'all got the book?
I do.
From Coffee to Coin. Okay, in class 3, I gave away the PDF, but I'm not giving it away today. Y'all got to go buy the book. I think it's $11.96. If you go to my website, it's $11, right? This shows you the benefits of dollar cost averaging, and it shows you what discretionary spending can really build. So when we say that you can build generational wealth from one cup at a time, that was just the example, like based on the revelation that God gave me. And I'm telling you, Erica saw my Robinhood account. I ain't gonna show y'all. She's like, oh my gosh. Ain't that what you said? That's what she said. Because there's only been a couple of months, but let me tell you, we spend so much money haphazardly, not realizing that when we look at the accumulation or the accumulative effect, you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on something that you could have reallocated by just a minor lifestyle change to start building something. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So Anne-Marie Renton, you got to go through the middleman. The middleman is basically the exchange. So you can use Uphold, you can use, there's so many. I use Robinhood because I like the user interface. It's easy to navigate on Robinhood for a novice. You can buy HBAR on crypto.com and on Coinbase. You're buying it on Coinbase? Okay. Any other question? I'm not saying don't spend no money on your hair. I'm just saying.
Do you have any thoughts on the Dogecoin?
I got a bunch of that too. I've had that for years. I don't even look at it. I don't even know what it's doing. You had some for a long time?
I had it. I just have it sitting. It's been sitting for years, but I was wondering.
No, listen, let me tell you something. We're playing the long game, right? A lot of these coins that we got invested in, let's talk about it. What's Cory? Shiba Inu had no use case. It's just a meme coin. But people are making millions of dollars on meme coins. It starts as a meme coin, and then they build in some kind of something that it solves. Cory, you have any insight on, for instance, Shiba Inu and Doge? They don't solve any problems.
Yeah. So the only thing about those is, like you said, they're meme coins, and so it's really just pure speculation, I think. Mm-hmm. And originally, when we got, I did also buy some Dogecoin too, back when Elon Musk was promoting it. I think, based on what's happening nowadays, with all due respect to anybody who's a fan, I think that he's damaging his own brand by what he's doing. And I kind of don't have good feelings about Dogecoin anymore because of the Doge people that are doing what they're doing. I mean, I'm a senior, and I got to tell you guys, I'm very concerned about, them coming after my Social Security. So
let me help you.
That's a topic for another day.
No, we could actually touch that real quick. They cannot touch Social Security without legislation. It's an entitlement. It will not affect you. What they're trying to do is cut out the fraud. The 20 million people that's getting checks that's not alive, or the person that's 250 years old getting a check. The nation is not even 300 years old. How are you getting a check and you 250 years old? So, Cory, and you know what you also need to realize? God is your source.
Absolutely.
No man can take away what God says is yours. Period, bar none, end of story.
Amen.
Okay? Don't allow the fear of, and here's the thing. We should want the government to be held accountable. We should. Why? You know why? The government doesn't have money. It's our money. It's our money. It's your money. The taxes that we trying to avoid when we create these trusts, right? The taxes that we're trying to avoid now by creating these trusts is what's being used for all this corruption. And so what they're really trying to do is hold people accountable. And if God is your source, it doesn't matter what Trump or anybody else is doing. It don't affect me. I live in the kingdom, right? You got to choose to understand your residency and who you belong to. Cory, if you need to talk to me about this, let's talk, but you ain't got to worry about it, brother. Plus, we're about to make billions of dollars. I don't know what you're worried about.
Right. Amen. That's right.
I'm telling you, I'm building my lake house next to yours. Shoot.
Dr. Wayne.
Yes, ma'am.
As we, getting ready to leave, what are you saying we should do now? I've been following you along, been tracking first, second. So the next step for today.
I'm in conversations with a trust attorney right now. And what I want to do for those who want to go that route is create favorable terms to help us navigate setting up our trust properly. So when we hit, we don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, we're trying to circle back and cover things. Give me a month to have a conversation with her and learn a little bit more on how the process would work. And so I can present it to you, and those who are interested can go make an appointment with her and set up your trust, or choose a trust attorney of your own. Now, if you don't have any investments, is that what you're saying, Lisa?
You're exactly right. That's what I want to know. Where to from here?
All right. So We got some mentorship appointments when?
Yesterday that you didn't make?
No, I make. You weren't there.
No, you have to send me a link or there's no
No, you're
way for
supposed
me
to get the link
do
in your email. You don't get
it.
it?
Doesn't, no. It's not the first time.
All right. All right. In our next session, I'm going to help you set up everything that you need.
I've been setting everything up. I'm set up already.
So then put some money in there. Dollar cost
Yeah,
average.
we've done that too.
So you good. What you mean? What's next?
Because this is the 4th session. So what's the next step?
Oh, you mean, are we going to continue to have sessions after this?
Or what is it that you want to make sure that we, maybe it's just a recap of what you said today and what's
Do
our
we
next
need to
step?
do a 5th session and recap everything? Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I was saying.
No, I'm asking collectively.
She's asking for action items, like what's the takeaway? Like what do we do after?
Oh,
Like what's our steps?
April, I'm gonna let you answer that.
Well, okay. So if you're not investing and if you haven't invested in anything, then that's the first thing you need to figure out which exchange you want to invest or to, make your investments with, like a Robinhood, a Coinbase. I heard MetaMask earlier. I have Uphold as well. And then there's others. And so you need to do that. You need to do that first. Okay. So you need to figure out where you're going to start making your investments. And then after that, then you buy a couple things, right? But again, research first. Please research first. Please pray first before making your purchases. And I'm just gonna say this, like, just don't go off of what we're saying here in this class, and don't go off of what somebody says on the internet and all that stuff. Like I tell people in Bible study, truth check me. Please go back to the Bible, go to the scriptures, make sure that I'm telling you is right. Same thing in this situation. Just do your own research, okay? And pray. After that, then if you're in a situation where you can get your trust set up, then set your trust up. And then, then go from there. But really the very first thing that everybody should do, if you have not done it already, is you need to first set up an exchange to buy your crypto from, to buy your investments from. That's the very first thing you should do.
I have a question, a trust question. I'm sorry. Maybe one of you can both answer it. Do you have a specific entity that you would set the trusts up through?
When you say entity, what do you mean?
Like a specific company or?
You mean a lawyer?
Oh, because it's just, yeah. It's just a lawyer. It's not like you do anything through a company, right? Like,
No, it's
okay, got it.
It's the legal framework.
Not like an insurance company where you have like different types of insurance companies for insurance.
No, but keep in mind, listen, we need to talk about IULs and listen, there's so many things that we could do that the wealthy is doing, that this information is no longer gate kept from us. There's a lot of vehicles that we can use. You can set up an annuity. Like when we talk about leaving, when we talk about setting up stuff for people who we know may be irresponsible or set parameters on people, you can set up annuity in a trust for somebody that they are paid out a certain amount of money every month. Yeah, I know we could do that too, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing, as April said, is to make sure that you have the ability to set up a trust. And now the only person who is not in this country is Al-Marie. Al-Marie, where you at? Are you still here?
Yes, I am in Jamaica.
Okay, you need to find out about what you can do in Jamaica, because I know Jamaica, you can't even get Cash App in Jamaica, right? You can only do PayPal. So you need to find out what companies have international reach where you could start putting your oxtails, right? In in this account. That was a joke. So I'm going to give both you and Carol homework. Y'all need to find out which companies have reach in Jamaica where you can start establishing these things. So y'all can't do Robinhood. What about, okay, so we got to find out for them, okay? I don't know. They will have to check because some of these exchanges are international. Robinhood and Coinbase, I believe, are US based. Crypto.com, I'm not sure because I've seen it in different parts of the world, but there's a whole bunch of different ones. Kraken, Gemini. When I tell you, there's a whole bunch of different ones. Okay, so to make sure that you guys can get involved, we need to find out which
Gemini, I think, is available in Jamaica. It says. I was looking it up.
Okay, so Gemini would be a good use for you guys. Okay. Nay. What's up? Her name is Janae. I call her name.
Yes. So check with your job. Like if you have like legal shield or some other type of benefits like that at your job, check with them as well because I checked with mine and I do have some type of legal plan through MetLife.
That
And
can
they
set up a
gave me
trust?
they gave me a list of attorneys that I can go to that will help me set up a trust. And they're gonna bill the MetLife because I paid for it through my job.
You know I'm your
So
son, right? I'm your son.
okay,
Adopt me.
so yes. So check with your job if you have those type of benefits, or if you when your open enrollment come up and they offer it, go ahead and pay that money and then utilize the attorneys for that.
Huh?
So
we
that's an option as well.
So it's part of your benefit package, right? Does your benefit package have legal things? So you mean we can set up a trust without paying all this money?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of companies have what's called EAP, where they give you counseling services and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, legal comes with that, depending on the benefits. But yeah, most companies do have.
Wow. Okay, so for everybody, that's the first thing you want to check because that would absolve you of having to come up with a bunch of money, $2,000-$3,000 to do this if it's part of the plan that you have. This is great. This is great information. You see why we gotta be having in conversation?
Dr. Wynn, I would also like to say that you can create a trust on LegalZoom too.
Yes. And there's another one. What was the other one that Robert Shapiro used to do? LegalZoom. Is it LegalZoom? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
do you have a Christian lawyer? Is yours a Christian?
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want that.
Okay. Yeah, she is. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
EC.
Doctor, it's Liz.
Oh, Liz.
Hi, Dr. Wayne. Sorry, because when I be on some Zoom calls, I don't be want people to know my names and be calling on me and stuff. Anyway, sorry. So I have been, I've been texting you at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning because I didn't took a deep dive these last 2 weeks. But the pervasive thing is that you shouldn't keep the money, like keep your coins on exchanges. You should pull them off and put them in wallets. I haven't gotten to that part of how to do that. Is it just simply just buying the wallet and then just like a USB or something?
Let's talk about cold storage wallets. What the cold storage wallet is, because when you own a crypto, right? Or you've purchased a crypto, you don't have custody of it. It is on the exchange.
Oh, okay.
Right? Or what you want to do, and putting your crypto in cold storage doesn't stop it from appreciating. It's just a security measure, right? There's just a, was she texting me? It's just a security measure to make sure that your crypto cannot be hacked in the sense if the exchange goes down because of a hack, your crypto is in cold storage. You can also get a laptop. You can get a Chromebook that's not connected to the internet and do your transactions there and keep the information there. You could do that too. But I'm working with a company called what is it called? What? Decent, I think. Erica, can y'all stop? Stop. Decent. Turn this thing off. Decent. And I'm trying to get a deal where we would get between 20 and 15% off the actual device. It uses a thumbprint to gain access, and there's backups on. I'll get all the information. I'll get it to you. I'll send it out to y'all. But that's just another measure of security. Like with the MetaMask, the other day I got nervous, right? Because I couldn't get into my MetaMask account. And what I would do is I would screenshot my seed phrases. So I had to go through all my pictures from I had to go back to 2020 to find a seed phrase to get into this account, but I found it. If you set up a MetaMask account, a Trust wallet, Atomic wallet, and these type of wallets, you have to know your seed phrase. If you lose access to your account and these seed phrases, you can forget it. You can't ever get back those investments. So know that.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Sorry.
Yeah.
One thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Just in the meantime, I guess until you get those things set up, is it still okay to, buy off of Coinbase and Robinhood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, right? You can transfer from at any time from any exchange to another exchange and even to a MetaMask, a Trust wallet, because your wallet has a string. Anybody know what? Let me see if I could find mine. Where would I find mine real quick? I don't know where it
Yeah,
is.
you have a wallet, a number, but it's a really long number though. It's numbers and
Letters. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, Dr. Wayne, this is Faustina. I just want to concur with that because I had a trust wallet years ago and I had some coins in the kidney foundation coin. And I didn't remember where I put the information down. And I can't get into it now because it's like a 16 to 20 digit ID that you have to remember. So I just want to stress that if you do that really have it stored someplace secure. You can send yourself an email, or you could just, put it somewhere that you're going to know that you could get it back so you won't lose it. Because that happened to me years ago. So I want to concur with that.
I agree too. I lost my whole ledger.
Oh, Lord. How much
I had
you
a quick question about just moving it from the cold wallet to the bank. Is that an arduous process?
Well, in order for you to liquidate, you're going to have to move it back to an exchange. So you're going to go from the cold wallet to the exchange, right? Liquidation into whatever account. Like right now, I have one account hooked up to Coinbase and the other one hooked up to, Coinbase and Robinhood. I haven't had the reason to liquidate, but I've done it in the past, maybe 3 or 4 years ago when I needed money. I would liquidate this thing. And I think Robinhood even has a debit card. At that point, I would just use my Robinhood debit card and pull the money out on a Robinhood debit card. So if you have a Robinhood account, get a debit card. If you have a Coinbase account, get a debit card.
Thank you.
Now, are you responsible for taxes at that point as well then?
Well, yeah, because
right. So, you got to get a tax accountant to help you figure out how much you owe based on your gains and whatever.
If you're talking about hundreds of thousands and millions and tens of millions, yeah, right. But the goal is by setting up the trust is to make sure that we don't have any capital gains liability. The current administration says they're moving to not have capital gains liability on U.S. cryptos. Do you know what that means? That's another whole inflow of people trying to avoid taxes while making money. Erica, do you have go to WayneTRiches.com and get the coffee to coin link? Or you can even get it from Amazon. Yeah. Do the WayneTRiches.com one. That way I get to sign them before I send them out. Yo, I got my gold Sharpie. Where's my gold Sharpie?
Dr. Wayne, if I want to say one thing because I heard a couple things that kind of was like a eyebrow raiser for me. You said that you took a screenshot of your seed phrase and you were flipping through your phone. I don't recommend that. I recommend you write your seed phrase down on a piece of paper and put it in a safe if you have a safe, if you have a lockbox, whatever you have where where you keep your, your documents, like your birth certificate, your social security, like you put that where that stuff is, okay? That way, it's there, you don't lose it. I had a situation recently where I switched my phone. I have a warm wallet, which is on the internet, right? But I still have like a gazillion number seed phrase that I have written down. So when I got my new phone, all I did was I went and got my written down on piece of paper phrase, and I re-downloaded the warm wallet to my phone, and I put everything in, and it
Pops
validated
right
me,
up, right?
and it popped right up.
Yeah.
So do not store this stuff on your phones, because if you lose your phone and somebody hacks into your phone, then they can take your stuff. They can take your crypto or whatever you have, okay? So that's why I was like, please don't ever store that on your phone.
Well, let me tell you what happened, right? This is when I didn't know no better. And if I'm talking about, I had not needed to remember the seed phrase for this account since 2020. What year we in? 25. So that's when I was just getting into crypto and I would screenshot the seed phrase. But what April is saying is absolutely right. Nothing don't beat no paper. Right? Write it down. And sometimes the seed phrase is a bunch of words, like 12 different words in a particular order as well. Make sure. And this is, people say it's arduous. Making money is always arduous when you're first establishing what you need to establish. You know how we know? Because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Right? So we're establishing generational wealth for the purpose of living a life that we want to live and to be a blessing to the kingdom. Right? Anything else? Chelsea, you've been quiet all day. Why you ain't saying nothing?
I'm just taking notes. It's a lot of wisdom. I'm good though.
All right, cool. Shaquita, what up?
Hey, I'm doing good.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Maria Gonzalez, what about you? You good? No, she
I have one more question. I'm sorry. And I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, look, I've got to take advantage of this opportunity. Did God ever speak to you about like any specific coins or
Erica,
any specific?
right? Didn't God show you the Bitcoin or Piggy or something like that? Yeah, that was over a year ago. Y'all I know God mad at me right now because I ain't never even looked into it. Lord forgive me. But why you ain't move? Oh, God showed you a coin that can make millions of dollars and you're not interested? Yeah, listen, I'm about to fight her and Stormy in a minute. Okay. Anybody else? That's it? I can go take a nap now? Can somebody say something, please?
Thank you so much. I was trying to get my phone unmuted.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna fight y'all.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Anybody else?
Thank you, Dr. Wayne.
Thank
Blessings
you
to everybody. Tam the Queen, I ain't forget you. We're going to get you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, one of these days next week. And Miss Marie Renton, I just wanted to make sure that you're not left out.
No, Dr. Wayne, and thank you very much. I owe you oxtail.
No, you got to come here and cook it, though. Everybody good, right? So, Father God, I just want to thank you for everything that you revealed today. I thank you for the input of others that are on the same journey, like Cory, like April, like Sharon Johnson, and others, Lord, Carolyn Thomas, so we can share what you've revealed to us individually, collectively, and as a group that wants to establish your kingdom here on earth. Lord, I pray that exponential, I decree and declare that exponential returns shall be our portion in the endeavor to create generational wealth, so we can leave inheritance for our children's children, and that we can bring heaven here on earth for the sake of souls. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Sabrina, I didn't ask if you all right. Sabrina, you all right? Dwayne, you all right? I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay, folks, I'm going to upload this immediately. If anybody has any questions. Oh. Erica, what's the link for the wealth? What's the name of the other group? Telegram. Is there anybody else that is not in Telegram? Anybody that is not in the Telegram group?
I'm not.
Oh, I'm not.
Right.
Can I be in that?
Yeah, we're gonna put
Jamila?
the link in the chat. We're gonna put the link in the chat right now.
What's that exactly?
When we it's just the group where we talk amongst each other about details, information about developments and stuff like that. So if you want to be a part of that, you can jump in on that.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. It's in the chat. I want to make sure everybody gets it before I log off. And I'm going to put the link to this video after I upload it. I'm going to send it to everybody that signed up. You're going to get an email with the link to this video so you can keep it. For those who missed the first 3 parts, you can go back and you can get that on the website. TheWayneTRichards.com. All right. And we will make an announcement when the Kingdom coin is launched. That's the name of the coin. Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Bless y'all. I love y'all. I want y'all to know.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all don't have to listen to me. So I appreciate the fact that you allow me to release the wisdom that God has given me.
Thank you, Dr. Wayne. I really do appreciate this. I really do. You just answered my prayers that I've been praying. I thank you so much.